Welcome back to Court B at Nottingham Trent University Lee Westwood Sports Hall for the Slater and Gordon Championship matchup between Manchester United and Altrincham Powerchair Football Club. Both teams under the Greater Manchester Powerchair Football Club as a whole, but then Manchester United Foundation involved with the Manchester United team, and Altrincham Football Club involved with the Altrincham team. So great support for both sets of players from professional clubs. I'm delighted to be rejoined by Chris Gordon. How you doing, Chris?
Can't get rid of me this afternoon, can you, Alex? I'm back again. No, I'm good. Looking forward to this one. I think these games, a bit of bragging rights on the line, you know? As you say, two Manchester-based teams under the same Greater Manchester banner. They'll be competing for the 3 points here, and the bragging rights to take away on the last game of their Sunday afternoon.
So do you want to run us through the Manchester United squad quickly?
For sure. In goal, we have Laura Evans. Played in the centre, David D, with Sam Taylor and Josh Slack on the wings.
And quickly get the Altrincham team in before we kick off.
Jake Hudson in goal, Mason Davies in the centre, Jack Hassan and Jack Johnson on the wings. As we have a false start. Give you a little bit of time to pop the graphics on the screen.
Well, what happened there was the whistle went on the other pitch, whilst our referee on this pitch, Pete Westmoreland, was still adjusting the pitch side clock and wasn't even on the pitch. So we are now underway. This big clash.
Yeah, it's big Manchester clash. As Altrincham PFC are on the front foot to start with, a 2-on-1 given away in the corner. Jack Hassan there just ran out of room, couldn't rotate to clear the space. Jack Johnson keen to put the Manchester United team on the back foot straight away. Just as for those of you that don't know the game in too much detail, if a player leaves the pitch to avoid a 2-on-1, that is a yellow card. So Jack Hassan didn't have much latitude there for getting any further back than he was. No, sort of got pinned in that corner, and as you say, you either leave the pitch and then take the yellow card, or unfortunately stay put, give away the 2-on-1 offence and give the opposition team possession of the football. But yeah, didn't have much option there. Didn't have much room to be able to navigate a path through. As Josh Slack takes the ball into the final third. Kept that under control. He's got time now to flick that back to David D. It's a great ball back. Good strike. Jake Hudson there. Good positioning at the top of his box to stop that ball from getting across. I'm used to seeing a few of these players play for the same team, so it's quite unusual for me to see them on two different sides. Jake Hudson and Josh Slack have been teammates for many years. The other difficulty we've got, of course, is the back plates are fairly similar in colour. Not design, but certainly in colour. So we're having to... I'm training my eyes to read the white stripes down the left-hand side or the black stripe along the top, depending on which team it's in. Yeah, when players are in reverse and all you can see is the back of the chair, it does make it quite difficult to see the kits and distinguish who's on whose team, but maybe for something for us to consider for the sport moving forward, a home and away version of the back banner. Oh, more regulations, Chris. No, we won't take that one up there. That'll make me popular. Well, I'm not very popular already, so I won't be taking any more suggestions like that. Quite a frantic start. It is. A good bit of pace to the game. A lot of closing down, and both teams trying to move the ball quickly. Yeah, David D, I'm looking forward to watching him. He's a player I've been very impressed with. I believe he was the young player of the season for the championship last year, and he's a player that's certainly impressive and looking like he can help his Manchester team to climb up the table. I have to say, he's a student of the game. He's been involved in our commentary team for a little bit, and he always comes very well prepared, talks greatly about the game and with a lot of insight. Heavy collision into the boards there. Both players seem okay. The Altrincham team do seem fired up here. Jack Johnson here on the far side, very vocal, trying to get his teammates going. He opts for the reverse spin there. Didn't quite catch it on that occasion. But the intent's there. You can see they're trying to strike the ball with power and try and get towards the back post.
Yeah, like I say, quite intense with his communication as well with his team. It's good to see. People very passionate and fired up for this game.
Yeah, I think the local bragging rights are at stake, so teams will be wanting to finish the weekend on a high as well, being the last fixture of a busy weekend. One more game to go for the league as a whole, but this will be their last fixture.
It's been quite a cold weekend as well, and the couple of players on the pitch, one for each team with, or three actually, with hand warmers on.
Yep, really important piece of kit. Obviously we control our chairs with our hands. If hands are cold, it does make it extremely difficult to keep control of that chair. And in a game that's as quick as this, you've got to be ready for every action. So if it is that cold hands mean that we're a little bit delayed in our movements, that can be the difference between winning and losing.
Nicely brought out there by Oh! Now those chairs pushing very hard against each other with the ball, and when that happens,
thankfully both players seem okay.
When that happens, it can occasionally get to the point where that's the reason that the pushing through the ball rule is where it's at.
Yeah, very important, because as we've said throughout the game already, both teams are very, very competitive. They don't want to give an inch, but if two players are pushing side by side and that ball does get stuck on the wheel with the grip against the ball, the chairs can ride up. Very well controlled by both players there, I'd say. David D recognised that the player's chair had lifted and pulled away to give himself a chance to land down on four wheels without continuing to push. So good control there from David D and good sportsmanship.
Doesn't tend to happen when the ball's up near the front of the chairs. It's very rare that it happens at all, but
yep, I've not seen it happen too often. Back in the day, the older chairs, they were a little bit more likely to tip, being a little bit higher up. These chairs have got a lower centre of gravity and not many places where the ball can actually get wedged, but as I said, if it does go wheel to wheel, there's always a danger that the grip of the ball and the wheel can cause the chair to lift. But thankfully, both players are okay in the game.
Indeed, and match official Pete Westmoreland did make sure he took his time to calm players down and give them that space to breathe.
Yeah, so all you can do as an official there, I think, you've got to tell both players, look, if you're going to push hard against each other, there's a risk that it could happen. If the ball does get trapped, try and get it rolling.
Let's use your bumper.
Yep.
Manchester United, indirect free kick at the top of the box. Josh Slatt's going to take it. He's got D on the line.
Yeah, he's tried to just deflect that one between the two. Defenders have held firm. Chance for Jack Hassan to counter-attack up the pitch for Altrincham. Sam Taylor's just held that one up long enough for David D to get around to the box. So they've got their defensive setup nicely compact and organised.
Well done by Sam Taylor to bring the ball out.
I've been really impressed with Mason Davis this weekend as he attempts a chance there at the back post. Not seen much of him, but just watched a game earlier and stood out for me. Very promising player, so we're keen to see how he gets on during the game.
I think it was Mason that received a yellow card for going behind the goal line to stop a goal yesterday. I'm sorry if it wasn't Mason, if I'd done you a disservice there, but I think it was. So he did miss a game as well. But the rest of the games, he's performed admirably.
Yeah, he's certainly strong in those middle areas. He can hold his own in those battles. I'm not sure of the game that I caught him playing in, but he was moving the ball around particularly well. I was yesterday, actually. It was against the Baggies. So they came away with a 2-1 win. And I thought he had a standout performance.
Deep into the Manchester United corner, and he's managed to, bit of game trickery, get himself a kick in.
Yeah, and he's recognised the space deep as well. But Jack Johnson looks like he's going to try and fire this one into contact for maybe a gap or a deflection out for a corner. 2-on-1 given against the referee with the player on the edge of the area. Maybe staying a little bit too long to mean that David D had nowhere to go without giving away that 2-on-1 infringement.
So 2-on-1 in Powerchair Football is an offence when two players from the same team are active within 3 metres of the ball if there is a opposition player also active within 3 metres, excluding the goalkeeper when they're in their area. That's the tightest I've ever described that rule, I think.
Done well there. Even I understood that one.
An indirect free kick is given. Often just tries to get little touches from these off of the player before it goes over the line. So sometimes the defensive players tried to turn it around the corner there.
Yeah, well read by Laura Evans there to get across and clear that one. But yeah, those free kicks edge of the box, like I say, indirect free kicks, looking to try and find the gap between. Powerful strike and a little deflection. It's only got a touch of defending player as well. Doesn't have to be off the attacking player's chair. Any deflection, any touch would result in that one being a goal. David D comes out to meet Jay Castle on the far side, and that one runs out for a goal kick. As linesman and referee just have a quick chat. Believe that the Altrincham manager was complaining that they didn't get a chance to set up.
I think that's the protocol generally is to allow defenders to sit somewhere first, choose that, and then attackers can go in afterwards. But if defenders are moving around, then the attackers don't really get a chance to set either. So that was the complaint, I think, in the protocol.
Yeah, as you say, defenders get the priority in their initial setup, but once they have chosen their position, that's it. The attackers are then at their right to move themselves and to try and block off if they wish. Altrincham corner here on the just in front of us, the commentary booth.
Johnson fires it across to Hassan, strikes a goal.
Two-on-one called against Altrincham there. Good ball to the back post though. Good strike from Jake Hassan. Mason Davies came in with the front bumper finish, or attempt of a front bumper finish. I think the referee just called the 2-on-1 against Jack Johnson coming in behind at the back post.
Goal kick from Laura Evans only finds Mason Davies for Altrincham. He's locked up with. He's ended up on the wrong side there.
Yeah, he was out of the game for a second. Mason Davies just couldn't get around the ball to try and manoeuvre that one towards goal, but it's gone out for a goal kick. Very competitive game. Both teams certainly fighting for every inch on the court. Not opting to get the chairs on the half turn and recognise that space a little bit. It's more of a dribbling type game at the moment, but hopefully this one opens up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's very tight at the moment, and no one really taking a risk.
No, and wingers in the main have been facing up the pitch, and when they do receive the ball, driving it towards goal rather than looking for that backwards pass to try and get the ball moving and switched out to the other side. But good example there of Jack Johnson, chair in reverse on that occasion, got the ball back. Built a bit of an attempt for Altrincham. But they are piling on the pressure, making it very difficult for Manchester United to get out of their half.
Substitution has occurred. Shannon Smith has come on for Sam Taylor for Manchester United. Actually, I didn't see that one until...
Yeah. Maybe referees were having a bit of a debate, the referee and linesman, but she snuck on in there. tactical change, trying to change things around, give the team an outlet on the right-hand side of the pitch.
Match officials earning their money on this one.
Yeah, it's very closely fought, very competitive for sure.
I think our centre referee, Pete Westmoreland, has had a conversation with both his assistant referees and said, just keep an eye on contact through the ball for me.
Yep, needs every set of eyes on this one. There's a lot of contact between the two players' chairs at times. It's trying to identify who's the aggressor on each occasion. Well worked there by David D to win a corner kick.
So I think one of the things you don't necessarily know unless you're down here pitchside and watch it happen is when chair bumpers clash, they make a great noise and it sounds awful, but often isn't.
Does.
And then when a player pushes through a ball onto another chair, the shock and the movement in that can often be a lot worse than the bumper contact. And so referees are very tight on that and clamp that down because the forces through the ball can often cause more pain than not and make you very uncomfortable in your chair.
That's certainly correct. Sometimes the bumper-to-bumper contacts sound very loud, as you said. You can think that must be a hefty collision, but just the force of two chairs driving 10 kilometres an hour and pushing through that ball onto the back wheel or back of the chair, that can cause quite a rattle. And as you say, the officials across the globe have noticed that, and it's an area that they're trying to control and not stamp out as such, because I don't think players are doing it intentionally, but just to try and encourage players to have a little bit more control when they're manoeuvring that ball and trying to dribble around an opposing player. We approach the last 5 minutes of this one. Not many chances. It's a fiercely competitive game though. Both teams are pushing for the points. So Altrincham on the balance of play have had larger spells of territory and possession of the ball, but Manchester have always got that threat. Manchester United.
And they've tried a few things. They've made a substitution. They've now switched their wingers. So Josh Slack is now out wider. Good rotation for the Manchester United players. As David D went down into the...
That's a great strike by Shannon Smith there.
Saw an opportunity open up there and had a full swing.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was quite close to the goalkeeper's chair there, Jake Hudson, but from our angle, but there must have been just enough separation to clearly get that strike, and she executed it lovely, forced Mason Davies into a save. As Manchester United are building a bit of pressure now with a 2-on-1 at the edge of the box called by Pete Taylor.
Pete Westmoreland.
I'll tell you what, I'm having a nightmare.
Pete Taylor is on the involved in the game. He's
at least he's on the
coach of Manchester United, and he's also a match official. So I think he can be forgiven for getting the wrong Pete on the match.
I do see Pete Westmoreland about 3 times a week though. You think I'd recognise him by now?
You won't be happy with you then. Shannon Smith then with an indirect free kick again on the edge of the box. David D in the middle trying to cause chaos for the Altrincham defence.
Again opting for that initial hit and deflection, just like Altrincham tried earlier.
2-on-1 given against David D and Shannon Smith.
Yeah, I'd like to see teams try and utilise the space a little bit more. It's all quite direct. I think sometimes they're neglecting that opportunity to get the triangles working around the box. Kicking edge of the box there. If you've got 2 wingers out wide, you can pass left or right, get the opposition defenders travelling and look to switch the ball to the opposite post. But teams at the minute, both teams looking for that one strike and shot or deflected effort.
I'd say sometimes both teams are a little flat with their shape as well. There's not always enough depth to take advantage of opportunities to move the ball.
I think that tends to happen when there's a lot on the game, you know, and teams are desperate for that win, and it's hard to have that fire in the belly but then remain composed and recognise opportunity at the same time. And I think teams can get a little bit on the front foot and then not recognise the space and opportunities to pull the opposition out of their space. They can tend to push them back and block them in and create create a compact defence for themselves at times. The backwards passes like Josh Slack tried there. That's what I'd like to see as this game goes on. Just moving that ball backwards out of contact towards the central player to give them an opportunity to switch it to the far side. Unlucky on that occasion, just caught the chair.
Yeah, and that came as a result of a goal kick that they played well and manoeuvred well and got a couple of passes in a row, and consequently they'd managed to get themselves into that nice V formation with a bit of depth and both players wide and high. Josh sadly just clipped the chair on the spin, and the passing move broke down. But that's just shows if you can get the very strong challenges in going in there between Dee and Davis. If you can get the passing movement going, then you're well set.
Probably our last chance of the half here up for Altrincham. 50 seconds or so left on the clock. Again, difficult area, not much space when the defenders can set up in that defensive wall. Like the corner kick where the goalkeeper has to go behind the line, they can sit in front, which means the player on the edge of the box can restrict that space.
They can hurt a bit as well, can't they, when the defender and goalkeeper are lined up together and both look to close the gap.
One reverses, one comes forward, and they clatter into each other. Yeah, been there a few times.
I bet you have. Who's the most prolific offender on that for you then? Is it our friend JB?
Surprisingly not. I think this answer probably won't surprise you. Marcus Harrison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Marcus Harrison will be a nightmare for that. Thankfully no longer with me at West Brom, so the old whiplash can recover. But no, certainly a player that isn't adverse to crashing into another chair. Well, having an opposing chair in this instance as we're talking.
He certainly makes sure some of the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. He makes sure. It's a good ball to back post. Shannon Smith's done really well to restrict the space there. Jake Hassan thought for the world that he got the space to time that spin towards the back post, but Shannon just restricted the space, and she's, I believe, won her team their free kick. Just wait to see. Yep.
Yes, there has. So normal protocol there dictates that the player that's spinning would be deemed to be the one out of control.
Yeah.
So although both players were moving, the player spinning is the one that would be penalised. Bit of a conversation just to check that before we declared it was going to be a Manchester United free kick. Chair just lifting slightly again.
Yes.
Johnson again involved with Dee. That's the half-time whistle, I think.
Half-time whistle. I think the referee's just going to have a little chat with both players, as it's happened a couple of times now. The chair's just lifted. Both of the same players involved in the incident as before. So I think just a little word from Pete, just to say, be careful in that contact. Try and battle with the ball bumper to bumper rather than back wheels. Keep yourself safe at all times.
Good to see from the match officials. And as you say, it's a competitive game, and Derby on the line. Players just need to be given that extra chance to get emotional control. Have confirmed it's now half-time on screen. I didn't want to trigger the half-time bit until that was confirmed. So lots going on in this game, Chris. We're just watching the conversations unfold between the teams and the match officials and what's going on.
Yeah, it's a competitive one. I think sometimes you think two clubs under the same sort of umbrella, if you like. They're, very friendly. I'm not saying they're not friendly by any means, but they're certainly fighting for the points here. And as I said before, bragging rights seem to be on the line. They want to come away as the team with the 3 points. Not sure when they'll play each other again, so it could be a few weeks and months until the opposition team get the chance to get their revenge. But as we sit here at half-time, 0-0, it's been a closely fought game. A few chances, but certainly intent from both teams to try and get that opening goal. Hopefully that comes in the second half.
Indeed. Whilst we've got a little bit of time, I'm just going to ask for your thoughts looking forward to Argentina.
Argentina. Yes.
How's the squad feeling? How's it shaping up? How's the ambition, the thoughts?
Well, we've not come together yet as a group to sort of debrief from the Euros yet. We've got a camp in a couple of weeks' time. I think that'll be a great opportunity for us all to get around the table, watch the footage back, discuss our views. I think in the main, as a squad, we felt we came away a little bit disappointed with our performances. Maybe big team surprised a little bit that they were happy to sit in and sit in that sort of low block shape and restrict space and make it difficult for us. So we've got some work to do for sure, but we are very excited for the World Cup. I think first and foremost the European competition was make sure you get that qualification for Argentina. Make sure you're on the plane, so to speak. We're going to be there, and we'll be doing absolutely everything we can to bring that elusive World Cup home to England.
That's the big one. It's the one we're all after. And you said you're a bit surprised by some of the international teams. The face of international football, Powerchair football, is changing and developing quite a rapid pace. And as we talked about earlier, one of the first things that teams that start to get organised do is the defensive side of stuff rather than the attacking side of stuff. Is that something you're sort of planning for and looking at as a team and working on that as a new challenge to experience?
I think it's going to have to be. We came away with some very tight games, 2-1s, 1-0s. Very, very, very little between the two teams on the scoreline. We had large spells of possession, as you'd expect, and opportunities to move the ball in the final third. But teams made it very hard. They have worked out ways of perhaps getting in those passing lanes, restricting the space. Maybe we need to go away to the drawing board a little bit and think, how can we draw opposition teams out of that defensive block? But yeah, it's a good challenge. It was great to see the likes of Italy, probably the dark horses of the competition. A team that we weren't quite expecting to be as competitive as they were going in. I think everyone would have had them in the lower end of the rankings, but they surprised everybody out there, and it was great to see. It's nice to have. Yeah,
they've got an interesting background, Italy, with Powerchair hockey.
Yes,
is very popular over there, and most of their Powerchair football players are very experienced Powerchair hockey players, and the Powerchair hockey chairs are a bit different. They tend to be spinning on the spot a lot quicker, and slightly bigger back wheels, and slightly more spinny and less speed. And so that's, I think, given the players an interesting introduction to driving and hitting the ball.
I think so. They are very proficient in terms of their chair control. I think Giovanni had gone across, he plays the majority of his football in the French leagues with Châtenay, Malbray, Upsilon. And a player that we don't know too well, haven't seen much of him play, as he plays majority of his football for their second team in France. But struck the ball very well, very cleanly. And having that power then that the other players could sort of deflect and manoeuvre that ball around. They're a very, very, very strong outfit, and I think they'll do well in the World Cup because I think they've got that natural sort of aggression as well as a nation. They're very fiery characters. But yeah, as you say, very, very good chair control.
And a loud set of fans.
Yeah, it's great to be able to play the hosts. It was a two group competition, but we were drawn in the same group as Italy, and we had I think it was a 6:15 kick-off on the evening, so it's always nice playing an evening game. Crowd were creating plenty of noise, and that makes it very difficult, on a court, especially for the likes of myself. I like to communicate with my teammates on the pitch and pass on information, and you're struggling to pass on a message from someone 5 metres away from you. So, it's great to have that noise for an atmosphere, but it can make it quite challenging for the opposition and the players on the court to communicate amongst themselves.
Well, some challenges ahead. Good, best of luck on the preparations.
No, thank you.
Hopefully we'll catch up before that as well. But second half is now underway. David D takes that territory kick-off again.
Yeah, that kick for touch, rugby-style kick-off. Pin the team back towards our own box. Get that defensive setup and look to press high, intercept and try and deflect something towards the goal or towards the back post, where we've got Shannon Smith set and waiting. Josh Slack looks like he's going to be the one to press the first ball. And as anticipated, it's got across to Shannon Smith with a shot on target. It's a good save by Jake Hudson.
They've got set though, Manchester United, if they can keep this ball moving.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity there, and I think, like you say, there was the chance to get that ball back to David D, who had a pocket of space there that he could perhaps try and switch that ball across to Shannon again. But they're maintaining that pressure.
Slack and Smith swapping sides. David D's found a bit of space at depth, looking to front bumper that through that gap. He'd set his chair lovely for that pass.
Yeah, I think he quickly recognised that Jake Hassan had come and closed down that space, so he adjusted from the side was on position to use his front bump to nudge that ball through the gap. Jake Hudson read it well. It looked for a second like it was going to get through to Shannon Smith, but Jake Hudson cut that one out. But Manchester United have certainly started the second half well. As our referee Pete Westmoreland marks out the 5 metres for the defensive setup.
Hassan choosing to go somewhere different. This allows Mason Davis to come off of the line. Quite high defensive line here for a free kick. Yeah, there's any touch through those gaps and there's not a lot of time to react. D out to Slack. Fires it back. Couldn't quite get the front bumper of David D. That would be the normal reaction to that ball.
Nice chair control from David D there. He went for the sort of the faint reverse spin to try and suck his opponent in to think that he was going to strike the ball, and then took it on the dribble and manoeuvred that ball towards the corner. Josh Slack's rotated round well to the central area of the pitch. They'll be wanting Shannon to clear the space to avoid a 2-on-1, which she's done well. These are the areas where I'd like to see the players just take a little bit more time.
Look up,
get
see
their
where the
heads
gap
up,
is.
yeah, find their teammates in space. Sometimes they're playing it a little bit blind, trying to force it and find gaps. They're not always there. Both teams have got quite a good defensive setup.
Pete Taylor giving that message to Josh there, just to calm down. Same as for you, Chris. Just wanted him to
I think
bit of composure in that spot.
It's hard because obviously there's a lot on the line. Both teams want the 3 points, but that's I think the main difference in terms of players and the levels, that you can play with that aggression but slow it down and keep that composure when needs be. It's a lot of heavy contact. David D was calling for a foul there as Mason Davis challenged for the ball.
Ball's ended up locked up between, if it's there for 3 seconds, we'll end up with a set ball.
Yep, I think sometimes the defenders feel that's the easiest thing to do. Don't take any chances, keep the ball trapped. If the attacking team try and force something, they might catch a chair and give away a free kick. Stay still, keep your shape, and chance a set ball as a better restart.
So if the ball is still in those scenarios for 3 seconds without it being moved, that becomes a set ball. Often attackers will just gently nudge it and keep it moving if they don't want a set ball.
Yeah, I've played with players when they are winning the game and the game management comes into equation. They'll keep that ball there and just touch it every 2.5 seconds before the referee blows, and just to keep the game clock going down.
I think we've mentioned the name of one of the experts of that already.
The dark arts, yeah. We won't mention him again. That one's run out for a goal kick. Good strike there by Jack Johnson there. Both teams certainly looking to try and move the ball a little bit more now. The chairs are set. Striking the ball on the half and reverse spins. Very congested area in the middle of the pitch though at the moment.
It is. The setup for both teams is very much focused on closing down passing lanes.
Yeah.
Davis then for Altrincham. Got Johnson and Hassan up the pitch. Potentially onto Jack Hassan. There's some space there. Referee Pete Westmoreland had not blown his whistle, so he's asked him to weight, so you can check that everyone's the regulation 5 metres, etc., etc. That's closed down opportunities. Johnson on the outside of Smith there makes it much harder, and Hassan's now on the outside of Slack. So there's
it wasn't many options there for Mason Davis. I think in the end he's tried to just pop one down the middle on top of the goalkeeper and make the goalkeeper make a decision, but Josh Slack cut it out very well. It's a great strike from Jack Johnson towards the back post. Didn't quite have the accuracy to get to Jake Hassan, but it certainly a great, powerful reverse spin.
Nice set piece there, ball down the line.
Yep, they're recognising the areas of space now.
That time closed off by Laura Evans.
Sometimes the defenders are reluctant to travel out to that corner area with their low block shape of one player in the box and the defender on the top. Sometimes if the defending player from the box does travel out, can risk giving away the 2-on-1, so they tend to keep their shape. So the Altrincham have recognised that and recognise they've got time to strike that reverse spin from the corner.
Laura Evans blocking Hassan from being able to get across the pitch.
Yeah, there was some contact there as well, but I think referees pulled it for a 2-on-1.
I assume Laura Evans is allowed to drive like that and block Hassan from getting across the pitch and out the way of the 2-on-1.
I don't think there's anything in the rules to say you can't.
We need to defer to our Jeff the ref.
Jeff the ref needs to help us out on that one, but if I was in Laura's shoes, I'd be doing exactly the same thing.
Not sure you'd be quite as blatant.
Keep the chair moving, try and mark the space and make it very difficult for the attacking player to avoid that 2-on-1.
Well, it was certainly effective.
It was. Well left from David to dummy that one round. It's a good pass from Mason Davis. Jake Hassan with a chance to spin that one back.
Not quite enough pace to prevent David D from being able to close it down though.
Yeah, both teams are struggling to sort of really get that ball out of close proximity of the opposition chairs. So each pass is under pressure as it arrives to the teammate. There's not much space and time to manoeuvre that ball onto a free player.
Just wonder whether having Johnson take some of these set pieces for Altrincham, he gets a lot of pace on the ball, and whether that could kick-start the
Yep, I don't think that's a bad call. Maybe look to change the angle of trying to find the back post from a little bit higher up rather than down the line and into the corners. I think Mason's trying to win his team a corner kick there. As I said, corners are much more favourable in those areas with the goalkeeper having to go behind the goal line. Gives a little bit more space for the ball to get towards the back post.
David D a little bit too savvy for that on that occasion though.
Yeah, very switched on there. He knew what the team were after and he avoided the touch and let it dribble out for the goal kick. Linesman Alan Murray's legs are aching a little bit here from running up and down the line. Busy weekend.
Had a long weekend as Al. So another of those territory kick-ins. David D trying to get the ball out wide to Shannon Smith, not quite got the width and the angle.
Alex, I'm going for it again. Commentator's curse.
Well, how are you picking?
This has got 0-0 all over it. I'm sitting on the fence. That's going to call. That just means there's got to be a goal now. Doesn't matter who gets it. But yeah, game with very few chances. But hopefully that commentator's curse strikes again.
I think Josh Slack or David D have got one key pass in them. Whether that results in the goal exactly or not, I don't know. But I think they've got a key. Yeah, the angle's not quite there to get through that gap. Coach Pete Taylor telling Josh to get back down in that corner. So the ball's going to go to Josh Slack and he's going to have a couple of options. Oh, there might be a gap now there.
Difficult angle though. It's very tight. If he gets that through to the back post, it'd be a great strike. Just the angle of the ball there. It's always going to favour the goalkeeper coming across. It's rolling and travelling towards the goalkeeper. So it doesn't take much to get forward and intercept that one. But they're building the pressure up. That's 2 or 3 kick-ins in the attacking third.
Looking for that pass as well.
Yeah, David D's dropped back a little bit deeper for the reverse spin. It's a great ball across. They're the pockets I'd like to see him play in. Just
the pace on the ball creates that space as well.
It was a great initial strike from Shannon Smith, as you say. You need that power to mean that you're receiving the ball in space to strike as well. David D was certainly set there. It's a great reverse spin to the far side to Josh Slack. These are the passes I think you were referring to, these key passes that could be the difference. Opportunity here for Shannon Smith. Just put something wide of the post. It's coming, I think. I think the goal's coming.
Good commentary, Kirsten.
Yes.
We're going to see a goal.
Two-on-one calls against Manchester United there.
D and Slack both trying to close down the passing lanes.
Again, contact off the ball. Both players fighting for the zones. Trying to get in front to mean they can Jack Johnson there trying to get in front of Shannon Smith so he can deflect it towards Jack Hassan. He's done well there. He's got space and time in the corner now. Can he get it under control? Just tries to strike that one rather than taking the touch. It's come back to Mason Davies. Chance for Altrincham to build an attack. It's very difficult for the linesman to determine who's had the last touch when players are fighting so fiercely for the ball.
Yeah, both assistant referees have had to be really on it in this game. Alan Murray and Jamie King. Nicely, Jamie King up here. Young match official.
Yeah, he's had a busy weekend. I was chatting to him earlier. He's, I think, just the 2 games off, so he's certainly been busy.
I believe he's one of those who's now been allocated to him, so he's only had 1 game off.
Oh, wow. He'll be ready to rest the legs then when he gets home.
Long journey home for him.
Yeah.
Back down to Dorset. D there with the ball all the way to that back post. He's found the space. Shannon Smith with the strike. Space was found. Hudson was quick to come and close down the shot. Couldn't intercept the pass though, so that's a promising sign for Manchester United.
Yeah, the angle was slightly more favourable there. It was a great strike from the initial dead ball. Found its way through. Allowed Shannon to receive it with a bit of time. I think it was always going to be difficult to get the strike cleanly through a gap to score there, but there's a chance nonetheless as Shannon puts a great ball across. It's another good save by Mason Davies. The defending 2 for Altrincham, Jake Hudson and Mason Davies have done really well as this game's gone on.
Getting closer.
Yeah, Manchester United have created 2 or 3 attempts now as they've won themselves a free kick just inside the attacking half.
Contact foul, so direct. I just can't imagine it's going to...
I'd love to see it though. Maybe an advantage there would have been nice.
Ever scored from inside your own box?
Yeah, I've certainly scored from in our own half. Not quite sure about box. Yeah, sometimes teams look push up and play 4 out, don't they? As we've said, the games we've commentated on this afternoon, both teams opting for more of a 3 and a 1 with a goalkeeper defending the box. But as teams experiment with all 4 players and push their goalkeeper up, sometimes there's a chance to strike one straight through. It's always nice to see the ball running the length of the pitch through into an open goal.
Chairs hopelessly chasing after.
That's it, yeah. 10 kilometre an hour restriction. Racing at full speed and the ball just trickling that little bit quicker.
Vainly jumping up and down trying to make the chairs go quicker.
Yeah, I've seen JB rocking away in his chair a few times trying to speed it up.
So there's been a bit of contact in the box there. Between Hassan and Evans. assistant referee Jamie King just talking to centre referee Pete Westmoreland to determine what had happened and what the decision is against the...
Yeah, I think it should be a warning for both teams just to watch that contact.
Yeah, ball wasn't in play at the time.
Laura Evans opted to drive this one up the court. It's good to see.
Mason Davis has turned it around.
Very well, and there's opportunity to win a 2-on-1 here.
Got himself a corner, I think.
I think I'll maybe opt for the 2-on-1, yeah.
Indeed.
As the goalkeeper's coming back into the area, the supporting player has to be 3 metres away. And of course, not wanting to leave a gap at that front post. As Laura entered the box, she was much closer than 3 metres to her teammate there. Results in a 2-on-1 free kick. In a difficult position because goalkeeper's got to be behind the line, and then the supporting defender has to be 5 metres away from the ball, so it leaves a little bit of a gap down the middle,
which David D is trying to exploit.
Yeah, Mason Davis on this occasion is trying to get in between the two. David D switched on, moving that position, making it difficult. Jake Hassan across. A bit too heavy on the contact on the touch on this occasion. Front bumper's just gone wide of the front post. Goal kick to Manchester United. 3 minutes left on the clock, so not long left in this one. Maybe the commentator's curse isn't going to strike.
Oh, no, you done it.
I know, I'm trying it again. Desperate for a goal. Jack Johnson. Good ball back. Mason Davies. It's nice to see a combination of passes now. Mason Davies opts to takes that one in a dribble. I'd like to see him try and move that one either back to Jack Johnson or across to Jack Hassan on the far side. I think at this point in the game, neither team will want to take many risks. They won't want to throw away a well-earned point. Laura's calling David back to take this one so she can keep that goal covered, probably wise. With just 2 minutes left on the game clock.
Just under 2 minutes on pitch A at the moment. It is currently 2-1. GBG Saracens against Hull and East Yorkshire Powerchair Football Club. Close game over there. Back to the action here, and it's Altrincham currently camped in Manchester City's half. Mason Davis taking it down, trying to drag out Laura Evans again, or get a corner. Seems happy to try and get a corner, but he's mistimed that. Hit it straight out. So goal kick, chance for Manchester United to clear their lines. Goal kicks tend to go to David D to then deflect where he wants to, but this one could be a push out and a drive by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think Manchester United are certainly happy with the point at the moment. Or unless David's fancying one late surge up the pitch. But looks to be that they're going to keep this ball under close control, try and restrict an opportunity for Altrincham to take all 3 points. But it has gone out for a kick in. One last chance perhaps for Altrincham to try break the deadlock.
How do you feel about the short goal kick and a drive out?
I think there's a time and a place. Obviously, as we've said, game management's a big part of the sport. If you've felt you've got what you want and there's very little time remaining on the clock, then to avoid putting the ball at risk, perhaps to wise choice. I think in the main we'd like sport to be a little bit more open and teams trying to play an expansive style of play, but certainly understand the reason in that case for managing the remaining minute or so.
Appeal for a penalty in amongst that from Altrincham, challenged by Laura Evans on the edge of the box. Bumper to bumper, but it was quite hefty. Seen them given, I think, is the phrase. Of course, we've definitely seen them not given.
And more often than not, I think it's probably just a little talking to both players. But yeah, both teams seem to be happy with the point here. The Altrincham team took their time on that kick in. Thought perhaps they got something up their sleeve, but I think they were just killing time.
Free kick against Josh Slack there for pushing through the ball.
Probably is the last chance. I think that Altrincham would try and move this ball across to Jack Johnson on the back post.
Pictet is screaming at Josh Slack to get in front of Jack Hassan, and Josh didn't get there in time. All of a sudden, we've got a little bit of movement. It's not quite flowed once again. Kick in their dying moments of the game. Can Altrincham make something of this territory? Jack Hassan controlled down in that corner. He'll try and get himself a corner. Again, very controlled.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there would be time. No, that's the full-time whistle. We were in a couple of minutes added on there, so time was ticking. I think a fair point for both teams there. I don't think either team really did enough to win that one. Very, very fiercely fought competition. At a point added to the table. I'm sure you know, it's always nice to finish on a positive way at the weekend, isn't it? By taking something out of your last game.
Picking up some points is always good.
It's always healthy for sure.
And all teams now shaking hands. That competitive edge is over, and they're all friends again, as is often the case.
Yep. I'll be back to fight again another day. It's end of weekend number 2 for both teams, but I'm sure they'll be pleased with their weekends. The table's looking pretty healthy. They've got some breathing space on those teams below, so they'll be looking to try and kick on now and find some results in game week 3 to push for those automatic and playoff spots.
Well, thank you very much for joining me, Chris. I can tell you that the game on Court A finished 2-1 to GBG Saracens. Hull having a difficult weekend, and so little team talk there for Hull, trying to boost their spirits. We've got 2 games left, one on Court A, one on Court B. We have West Brom Baggies versus Nottingham Forest, and Nottinghamshire versus Leeds Dynamos. I suspect Chris will not be joining me, as he'll be wanting to watch the Baggies. So thank you very much for your contributions today, Chris.
No, thank you, Alex.
And look forward to seeing you again soon.
See you soon. Cheers. Thank you. Bye. Sorry.
Welcome to the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, Nottingham Trent University, for the final game of the weekend in the Slater and Gordon Championship. A little bit surprised but delighted to be joined once again by Chris Gordon. How you doing, Chris?
Free on the spin. Yeah. Good, Alex. Good to spend my afternoon here with you at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, enjoying some great Powerchair football. So hoping for a great game to finish off what's been a great weekend.
So we have confirmed lineups. I'll stick them on the screen. Starting with West Bromwich Albion Baggies, a side you'll know very well, Chris.
Yeah, I've been impressed with some of their football this weekend. Maybe the results haven't quite gone as hoped. Great performance this afternoon against Norwich PFC. Tight game. 2-1, that one finished for Norwich, but Baggies will be looking to try and finish the weekend strong and pick up 3 points here in this one to add to an earlier win this weekend. But they're starting with Amy Sherman in goal, Noah Stevenson-Lee in the centre of the pitch, Lewis Marshall and Jack Westmoreland on the wings.
Lovely stuff, and let's move on to the Forest side.
Toby Maurice in goal, Ben Rogers in the centre, Sam Rogers on the right hand side and Finlay Cooper on the left. So one change from their team in their previous game. Although Gaz Meakin is on the pitch currently. It's not down on our graphic, so maybe a late change there. Gaz Meakin will be playing in the centre of the pitch.
He tried to do this last game, didn't he? He tried to...
He did. He tried to sneak on as a fifth player, but there's definitely just the 4 Nottingham Forest players there. But yeah, Gary Meakin shown as a substitute on our graphic, but he's certainly about to take kick-off.
Ben Rogers, therefore, starting on the bench. Centre referee for this fixture is Caroline Bean, very experienced international referee, and gets our game underway. 2-on-1 very quickly given.
Yeah, the Baggies opted to pump that one in behind. Bit of an NFL term there, but two Nottingham Forest players a little bit too close as the ball ran out of play. Referee Carolyn pulled that one back for a 2-on-1. As the ball runs out on the far side for a Nottingham Forest kick in. But I think both teams will be hoping this will be a chance to finish the weekend strong. They're looking to get 3 points on the board to add to their total for the weekend. As Noah Harvey front bumpers one across to Jack Westmoreland, across to Noah Stevenson-Lee to find Noah Harvey on the far side. Jack Westmoreland's free. He's front bumpered that one between the two defenders. And the Cole Palmer celebration there. The things you love to see. Great finish by Jack Westmoreland and great celebration as well.
Fantastic stuff, and a good assist there from Noah Harvey. Not Noah Harvey, sorry, Noah.
Yeah, Noah to Noah and across to Jack. But it was a great move. They got the ball moving really well, moved it left to right, and Jack Westmoreland there finds a finish between the defender and goalkeeper. That's a great start, goal in the first minute. They'll be keen to push on and try and find a second and try and establish the dominance in this one.
Yeah, Noah Stevenson-Lee is a relatively new player. I haven't really seen much of him, but this weekend I've just caught my eye a couple of times.
Yeah, he stands out with that bright green chair though, doesn't he? But yeah, it's like having a pair of coloured football boots. He's certainly a young, promising player. He's played a lot of football with our West Bromwich Albion Stripes team in the regional leagues. Learnt his trade. He's now stepping up into the National League for the first time, and Dave Lewis, Matt Gilbert, the coaches, have opted to keep him in those central areas, and he's certainly finding some great passes left and right and creating chances for his team to score goals. But not only that, I think he scored a hat-trick himself yesterday, so he's one that's got a goal in him. As this
it's
one
an
pops
opportunity.
Bright, Jack Westmoreland sort of set his chair there for that reverse spin on the goal kick, caught it a little bit too clean, pulled it towards the middle of the goal. There was a bit of a space at the back post, but good intent.
Slight misunderstanding there with the Notts Forest goal kick taken between.
Yeah, I've seen a few
Toby
teams
Morris and Gameweek,
fall for that one this weekend, where sort of the opposition team are trying to make it look like the one side of the court's clear and on, but the chair's set for that reverse spin interception. It's a great ball to the back post, Noah Harvey. He's had a good strike on goal. It's a good save from Gary Meakin, as Noah Stevenson-Lee looks to keep the Baggies on the front foot. They certainly are dangerous from their corner kick routines, the Baggies. They opt for the screen and the dummy towards the back post, and they tend to get it over there. They tend to strike the first ball with good power. So they'll be trying to win as many corner kicks as they can. They've got another one just there. This time Noah Harvey's opting to stay out towards the edge of the box.
Well drilled as well. I've noticed the rotation of the Baggies is pretty synchronised and timed well.
Yeah, I think in the main they try to cover that middle area with two players and rotate a wing around when the centre's in contact. But when the opportunity is the ball to move around, they keep their wingers nice and high, get that big V as we've spoken about a couple of times today. And Noah Stevenson-Lee tends to be the general in that middle of the pitch, moving the ball around, as I've been told his nickname is.
The general?
I was told by Rosie it was the commander yesterday, and then I've been informed by the parents actually the general. So I think that came from one of the parents in camp. They called Noah the little general in the middle of the pitch.
Is general a promotion on commander? Or
I'm not sure. Maybe we've demoted him. But he's certainly enjoying those middle areas, and he's playing some great football. But this is it's going to be a test, this game. Nottingham Forest are a team on the up. I've seen a lot of them in the regional league competitions, and they get better and better each game. And they've got options from the bench. They've mixed it around for this game, as we've said. Ryder Priestley and Ben Rogers have dropped to the bench. But they've certainly got strength in depth, and they'll be looking to respond with a goal here to get themselves back in the game as they push the Baggies back to a kick in just in front of the byline. A very difficult area to get out. Noah Stevenson-Lee goes across to take. Jack Westmoreland screening Sam Rogers on the touchline. It's gone across to Gary Meakin, who's attempted the reverse spin. Didn't quite catch that one. As Amy Sherman sets up the counter-attack opportunity as Noah breaks down the line, Noah Harvey. Gary Meakin's got back and covered that one quite well. So Noah Stevenson-Lee comes across, the general.
Marshalling his troops.
He certainly is. And he's done really well to get round that ball and force it towards the opposing team's goal. As Jack Westmoreland's rotated round to that central area. A bit close there, 2-on-1s, but a good advantage from Carolyn as Jack Westmoreland gets back.
Up against Sam Rogers for Nottingham Forest.
Yep, another good promising young player. Seen plenty of Sam at the regional leagues. He's as with the rest of the Nottingham Forest team, really developing well. It's a great strike across there from Noah Harvey this time. Chance to go down the line to Jack Westmoreland.
Good decision.
Ball across. Noah Stevenson-Lee trying to work that ball at the back post. Chance to take this one out wide and work it back, but he opts for the deflection and the kicking instead. So the Baggies build some pressure.
Good decision there from Harvey. Go back down to Westmoreland as Forest had closed off the passing lane that was the obvious one across to Noah Stevenson-Lee, so kept the ball moving really nicely. Yeah,
it was nice to see him find the player in space. As the ball pops to him for a strike, it's a good strike between the two as Gary Meakin crashes into Toby Maurice's chair to keep that one out. As we spoke about earlier, that can give you a bit of a rattle, but I'm sure Toby Maurice would rather him keep the ball out and take the crush than see it go through the posts. Noah Harvey very patiently working this one.
Looks like he's fully aware that a corner kick is...
Yes, I think that's the aim here.
He's got space to put it back though, and Noah Stevenson-Lee's at the top of the box and strikes and hits the post.
It's a very clean strike as well. It's well worked from Noah Harvey in the first instance. He's manoeuvred that ball. He's recognised the goalkeeper's not going to leave the box. He's gave himself space and time to work it back. It's a great reverse spin from Noah Stevenson-Lee, and unlucky on that occasion.
This goal kick's not gone right again for Forest, and they've created space at the back post for Noah Harvey, but his chair position just let him down.
Yeah, he's travelling into that area in reverse, and I think just lost control of his chair at the last moment. It was a great phase, ball across from Jack Westmoreland. Chance at that back post, but just caught Noah Harvey's back of his chair rather than a clean strike on the bumper, and chance has gone a begging on that occasion. But the Baggies are certainly carving out a few opportunities as they push forward again. Jack Westmoreland across to meet Gary Meakin in the box. See if the team rotate round here. Jack takes it to his side of the court.
It's difficult to control that, but that's incredible.
That is very well. Very good chair control.
That was
the ball's almost glued to that back wheel.
Superb. Slowing down as well at the right moment. Pulled the ball back to get them set. That was a lovely bit of play.
It was. Great control there from Jack Westmoreland, and nearly carved out an opportunity as well. Flicked that ball back to Noah Stevenson-Lee in the central area. Again, a ball across to Noah Harvey and a chance.
I had the presence of mind to try and stop with his the ball on the outside of him and his chair in between, preventing any interceptions from Forest. Can't get to contact there, and or if you jump out there as a Forest player, all you're really doing is leaving some space behind yourself. Another opportunity again.
Yeah, they're certainly getting the ball across to the back post. There's a direct route across this time. Noah Stevenson-Lee. He's hit the big, powerful dead ball spin. Noah Harvey creating the space.
Another goal kick. Can they get one right? It's gone okay for Forest this time, although it has taken one touch and gone out of play. At least it didn't create an opportunity for Baggies directly from that situation.
Yeah, I think at this point Forest would just be trying to turn the Baggies round, get the ball behind them into their half of the pitch. Another ball across there. Jack Westmoreland is certainly having joy on that right hand side as he finds Noah Stevenson-Lee with a great reverse spin across. Some lovely triangles here from the Baggies as they try and create that clear opportunity. Gary Meakin done very well to come out and put pressure on the ball on that occasion. It's forced Noah Stevenson-Lee back to the halfway line. Bit of respite for the Nottingham Forest defence. There's an advantage there as the ball breaks out. Noah Stevenson-Lee 1v1 with Toby Murray to the goalkeeper. Gary Meakin is back now on the goal line to support.
They've rotated well though, and Noah Harvey at the top of the box. A spin and a whisker to the side of the post, going out for a goal kick, but
that's twice now they've threatened at that front post with a reverse spin, and unlucky there for Noah Harvey on that occasion. He's just hit it wide of the post, but it was another clean strike.
It's very enterprising play by the Baggies, and not a great surprise to see that Ben Rogers has been restored to the central position and Riley Priestley out to the wing. Certainly Gary Meakin was struggling a little bit with the general, but the general's still dictating play, and he's created a space at the back post for Harvey via Jack Westmoreland, and hands are on heads as how that has not gone in.
I'm glad they've got that first goal, because it's one of those games where it just won't go in for them, but it's a great ball across again. It looked like it was going to go right into that far corner. It's just gone wide of the post. Noah Harvey was desperately trying to get a touch, but yeah, the Baggies are really moving this ball around well. It's been a great first half performance from them.
Shakes of heads from players and shakes of heads from coaches. Dave Lewis looking bemused at the sideline. How that's then there's still only 1-0 up.
As players, I think Dave's thinking there, oh, I wish I was in the chair myself just to try and get on the end of that one. But they're certainly playing some great football, so I'm sure he's pleased.
Well, the introduction of Ben Rogers and Riley Priestley has meant that Nottingham Forest have progressed up the pitch into the final third. The Baggies, Amy Sherman doing great goalkeeper work.
Yeah, she was aware of the top of her area there, wasn't she? She moved it as far as she could, kept the back end of her chair in the box to avoid 2-on-1, let that trickle to Jack Westmoreland to try and allow Jack to advance the ball up the court. But as you said, the changes have certainly had a big impact for Forest. Ben Rogers and Riley Priestley onto the action. We saw them play earlier on, and they certainly combined well. They'll be hoping to try and create an opportunity of their own before half-time. Bit of contact there between the two chairs, but referee Carolyn's called the players to play on. As Ben Rogers advances up the court.
Kept it in, but hasn't quite got the rotation from his teammates to be able to find a pass.
Yeah, he's sort of played that one blind, expecting his teammates to have covered, and as he's flicked the ball, he's realised that no one's there. Maybe get that ball under control, get his head up and have a look for the teammate first. But they're pushing hard, Forest, here for an equaliser.
Riley Priestley's having a bit of a battle there with Amy Sherman. I think he timed a drive into the box, hoping for a fast pass and a front bumper to the back post, I think, but the pass was not quite up to it, and had to go into contest the ball with Amy Sherman, who's, I believe, has played for the most amount of clubs of any player in the National League.
Oh, wow.
I think. I might be wrong. I'll check and come back to you.
I'm sure someone will correct you if you are wrong. I know the Powerchair Football community are hot on these stats. It's great work there from Noah Stevenson-Lee, using his back wheel just to manipulate that ball around Ben Rogers' chair. He tried to let that one roll onto Jack Westmoreland, but it's just run out of play. But he's turned the pitch map round, gets the ball into the Forest half of the pitch. They're hoping to try and get another ball across to Noah Harvey on the far side. It's a great ball down the line though from Ben Rogers. Riley Priestley lets that one run. Close to a 2-on-1 there, but the referee says play on. Ball across to Jack Westmoreland. Spins it into space to Noah Harvey. Opts for the two-touch rather than the backwards pass, but it's a great ball across. Can Jack Westmoreland get to this? Not quite. The intent's there though.
I think that pass caught everyone by surprise, and not least Jack Westmoreland.
Yeah, it was a great two-touch. It looked like it was going to go into contact, but he moved it quickly. Noah Harvey there took a quick touch and a reverse spin across. Just out of reach for Jack Westmoreland on that occasion.
Two Noahs combining. Jack Westmoreland's going to come in and front bumper this. Goes out for a corner. Ben Rogers restoring a little bit of control in that Notts Forest defence, but the Baggies still look threatening. Noah Harvey is blocking Ben off very nicely. If Jack Westmoreland can find Noah Stevenson-Lee at the back post.
Try and do that one again. Yeah, what they do really well is they rotate round, so Noah Harvey's playing as the sort of left side winger as we look up the court. But he's come across to the middle to run the block, the screen, and Noah Stevenson-Lee's switched roles. Looking to fire this one home at the back post.
And when he goes to the other post, knowing that the team... Yes, he does. Knowing that the team have seen that once before, changed the routine slightly.
I think we've got Mystic Meg on the commentary here. Unbelievable. Alex has looked into his crystal ball and picked that one out. I like that. No, very, very clever play there, as you said. They almost had a practice run, didn't they? Ball went across to Noah Stevenson-Lee before the referee was ready, and he fired it in at the back post. He's recognised that the defenders would be rushing across on this occasion, and he's fired it back to the front post area. And I think on the balance of play has given his team a fair reflection on the scoreline, a 2-0 lead.
It certainly is.
I think that second goal has been certainly eluding the Baggies, but they'll be glad they've got it before the half-time. Just makes that team talk a little bit easier. Good chance to think about options from the bench and rotate the team round. The Baggies have got a very strong squad with 3 players on the bench, with Sam Swingler, Jack Gowder and Lewis Marshall. So they'll be itching to come on into this game, especially as how the Baggies have moved the ball around so well. But Forest certainly have a threat of their own, and if they do get that next goal, could be a tight game.
certainly could, although the general is certainly dominating the battlefield at the moment. And for a young player coming into the National League to be able to control a National League game like this so early on in the season is very impressive.
Yeah, he certainly likes the individual battles, Noah, but he's got great chair control to be able to switch the ball to. But that one's just run away from him there and given Ben Rogers a chance to switch the ball in behind. I think for Noah's development, it's that game management piece now of recognising when to flick it and get the ball moving, and when to perhaps keep it trapped and try and take the advantage of driving off the sidelines and winning your team the kick in. Obviously, for people that don't know, if the players are pushing the ball down the sideline of the pitch, the player on the inside deemed to be keeping the ball in play will result in the kick in, as opposed to the player looking to push them off the court.
It's half-time on pitch A. Leeds versus Nottinghamshire, 0-0 at the break. We've still got a minute to go here on pitch B.
Yeah, the Baggies will be hoping for one last chance here, as Jack Westmoreland's just trying to get on the inside of Riley Priestley. Did well to mark the space, make life difficult for Jack there. Noah took a quick one, but Jack wasn't quite set ready because of the pressure he was under from Riley. As Nottingham Forest have kicking just inside their own half.
Quite close, those two, but
yeah, I think it might be pulled back for a 2-on-1 here. That's probably where Noah just needs to recognise the stage of the game. Last 30 seconds, 2-0 up at half time. Just keep control of that ball, drive out to the far side, avoid the 2-on-1s.
time is up on the pitch side clock, so we're in added time as deemed by our centre referee Casbean. Baggies will just be looking to control the ball, keep it in nice areas. And indeed, added time was not much. So here we go with our half-time team talks. Baggies, smiles on their faces.
Yeah, it was a good performance, good first half. Created a number of chances. The ball's flashed past that back post 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, they'll be relieved they've got that second goal, which gives them a bit of respite going into the second half. But I think their all-round play, I think they deserve the couple of goal buffer. Forest would be desperately looking for a way back into the game. They have had a few chances of their own. The introduction of Ben Rogers and Riley Priestley certainly gave the team a bit of impotence, so they'll be hoping to start the second half strong, push the Baggies back.
Can you see any changes from Baggies coaches?
Yeah, I think Dave and Matt now will look to use the bench. I think some good first half performances, but I think they'll know that there's players keen and eager to get on. I think they'll use this second half as a chance to get players some minutes, but also to bring the fresh players on and keep driving those standards.
Great stuff. Well, we'll take a short break as well, and we'll be back for the second half shortly. Well, welcome back to the Lee Westwood Sports Centre in Nottingham for the final action of this weekend's Slater and Gordon National Championship. Current standings are West Bromwich Albion Baggies 2, Nottingham Forest PFC 0. It will be Noah Stevenson Lee for the Baggies to get us back underway. Delighted to be joined again by Chris Gordon.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Hoping for another entertaining second half to finish us off. It's been a great weekend here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. It's great to see our championship teams putting on such a great show. It's been a very competitive weekend of action and some great games, plenty of goals. Hope for some more in the second half.
A couple of changes, or one change actually, only. So Jack Westmoreland's gone off. The Baggies and Swingler, number 12, has come on.
Oh, as it strikes the post again. Well recovered there from Noah Harvey. He initially tried to rotate and leave the corner for Noah Stevenson Lee. But as Noah let that one ball roll, he worked the reverse spin back and that one cannoned into the post as the Baggies resume as they left off in the first half. Sharp corners there from the coaches. It's definitely an area where they feel they're strong. They can win the corner kicks. Great defending in the box there from Ben Rogers. It's a good strike there from Noah Harvey as it flicks out. Deflects wide for the corner kick. Chance for the Baggies to run their little screens and blocks to the back post. Sam Swingler does hit a very sweet ball, so if they do get the ball there, I expect to see a clean strike from Sam. He's not had much luck with his finishing. Tends to cannon off the goalpost a lot of the time. So let's hope this one finds the back of the net.
You were right, went straight towards the post. Got another chance though. Couldn't quite close down the crossfield pass from Noah Harvey.
Yeah, another ball flashes wide of that far post. It's a great ball across from Noah Harvey. Sam Swingler just couldn't quite get there. Let's run out for the goal kick, but they're threatening again.
It's a great name for a winger in Powerchair Football, by the way, Swingler.
Swingler. Yeah, swinging that chair around, smashing that ball towards goal. Sammy Swingler. Just like Noah, Sam's first year in the National League. He's joined us this year from Northampton. It's,
Cobblers.
Yeah, Cobblers. He's very keen player, very passionate about the sport. He's got a great understanding and looks to try and move that ball around in those big triangles. Very clean striker of the ball. He'll be looking forward to an open second half here. Chance to create and score a goal or two.
I've not seen much from him yet, so this will be good to see. Always interesting to watch new players come on the scene.
Good battle there on the far side. Ben Rogers and Noah Stevenson Lee. Ball's locked tight between the two chairs. Neither player wanting to give an inch. It's well worked by Noah Stevenson Lee in the end to get the ball moving. Breaks away, can let that ball roll to Sam Swingler. Fires the ball across to Noah Harvey. Good save by Toby Maurice on the post there. Sure, the Baggies will be trying to win another corner kick as they've had great success getting the ball to the back post from those areas.
That post has now moved. Now the rule is if the majority of the ball goes over the goal line with the post out of the way, it counts as a goal. But our match officials will do their best to replace it as soon as they can. You can see Kaz been hovering there. I've done them a disservice there. They've not
picked it up. No, not recognised that the post's currently a few inches away.
Didn't take long.
No, little shout from the crowd there. But there's a little marker on the floor, so if the post has moved, there is still an indication of where that post should be. It's for the officials then to decide if the majority of the ball is crossed on the inside of that marker. Just ran out of room there, Noah, on that occasion, but did well to get past the first player, past Finley Cooper. Chance for Forest to get the ball in play.
It's happened a few times for Forest where passes and kick-ins have gone across the field and players have mistimed contact whilst under pressure from Baggies, and the ball's sailed through for a kick into Baggies. I think Stevenson Lee will be taking it. He's encouraging Sam Swingler to get a bit wider.
Not sure if that was an intentional touch, but he's got the ball under control. Well played from Ben Rogers to bypass the press, as Noah does very well to keep that one in play. It's great chair control again. A couple of great examples of good chair control to manoeuvre that ball and keep it on the court. It was a great example in the first half by Jack Westmoreland down in the far corner. So another good example there from Noah, as these two have been locked in battle on a few occasions now. Noah getting the better of Ben Rogers on that occasion. You're looking to try and find the ball to the edge of the box here with Noah Harvey in space and waiting.
Noah Stevenson Lee is very canny down here. He's knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh,
so close. Beautifully worked by Baggies. I suspect there may have been some torn ones in amongst that.
Yeah, it was close. I think initially on the edge of the box. The ball back to Noah Harvey. Noah Stevenson Lee and Noah Harvey very close. Referee felt that they were far enough apart as the ball broke to Sam Swingler, who's front bumpered it across. Perhaps not with that power to get through to Noah cleanly, as he's had to wait for the finish, but just put it wide of the post.
Just got a little break here for Finley Cooper to have a couple of adjustments.
Yeah, assuming classification-wise, perhaps only the two PF1s in the group. Maybe that's why opted to try and get Finley ready and comfortable rather than looking for a change from the bench.
Yeah, I'm not certain on the classifications across the Forest team. But certainly when they've made double substitutions, or substitutions have been double ones, which normally is an indicator of...
Yeah, PF2s for PF2s, yeah. I think Riley and Ben Rogers are both PF2s, and then I think Gary Meakin and Sam Rogers are as well, so I think Finley and Toby Maurice are the two PF1s in the group. Couple of changes for the Baggies. Noah Stevenson Lee replaced by Jack Gowder in the middle of the pitch, and Lewis Marshall comes on for Noah Harvey on the wing.
So completely changed outfield three from the lineup at the start of the game. Shows the depth that Baggies have in their squad.
Great intent from the off there from Jack Gowder. Dribbled that ball towards Lewis, set for the spin on the return pass. Didn't quite get enough angle to find Sam Swingler there, but he's got it across now. It's a good strike from Sam, good save from Toby and Ben in the box.
Nearly snuck through the gap between the back of Ben's chair and the front of Tom's, but yeah, just enough coordination there.
Chance to go down the line and across here. Oh, misplaced pass there from Sam's, opted for the reverse spin. Hooks that one back towards his own goal. Amy Sherman's forced now to try and sweep up, which he's done well.
Yeah, I haven't opted for the reverse spin, just came through a bit early. You go blind when you do the reverse. That can, if you've not timed it perfectly from the start, make you look like you don't know what you're doing, but you do. So 10 minutes to go in the second half. That's any added time.
Chance for Jack Gowder to try and move this ball to the wingers. Opted to take it in the dribble instead. Just flicks across to Sam Swingler, who's had a good swipe at that one. It's a great pass across. Chance to get across to Lewis Marshall here. Perhaps just need to go back to Jack Gowder there to change the angle. Just tried to go across the box to Lewis Marshall directly himself. Perhaps needed to just change the angle of that one. Utilise Jack Gowder at the edge of the box in space, who's probably got it cleaner pass through to the far side.
Yeah, these three just working their routine and rhythm out. All three have come onto a game already playing. Takes a little time to adjust. They're finding each other, just need to get that rhythm in. But Marshall has done a little glorious bit of driving and turned Maurice in the Forest goal inside now. And managed to push that ball over the line.
Yeah, he's done very well there. Initial block on the edge of the box from Sam Swingler. It's a good attack by Forest. They struck the ball well. Good pass to Ben Rogers, who had the strike at goal. Deflects up the pitch. Lewis Marshall straight after that one. Got the ball under his control and forced that ball home to give his side a 3-0 lead. Always a nice bonus goal when you can dribble one in across the line for all their nice attacking play. Sometimes got to be able to do the ugly side of the game as well.
Yeah, he just got Toby Morris turned and left blind, wasn't sure where he was going. Managed to roll that ball across the back of his chair and dive down the left-hand side in the space between Ben Rogers and Toby Morris.
It's a good strike from the kick in again though. Finds the gap, gets it through towards the Baggies goalkeeper. Amy Sherman comes out again to... Yeah, she's done very well there. In fact, she's not only cleared the danger, she's won a team a kick in as well. I think the Baggies will be very pleased with their attacking play, but I think they'll also be looking for a clean sheet here because they've tried different combinations to try and be resolute in defence as well. And Amy's had a good few performances in goal this weekend. It's given the team a bit of stability, allowing the likes of Lewis Marshall to play as an outfield player and join the attack. So they'll be desperately trying to keep that clean sheet, build some confidence at the back as well. Kick into Nottingham here on the left hand side. Riley Priestley's looking for Ben Rogers in space. Opts to try and take that one in the dribble. Perhaps closed down a bit quickly there from Sam Swingler, not the chance to spin that one to the back post, but they've got a good angle now. Level with the top of the box, they'll be trying to find the gap. Although Finley Cooper's gone towards the back post at the moment, so he's not quite in level with the top of the box. Maybe they're looking to try and win the corner kick. It's well dealt with initially by Amy Sherman, but she's left the box, so she needs to be careful of the 2-on-1. Jack Gowder just backed away in time there. It's gone off the back of Amy's chair for a corner kick. I think these are the areas where Forest will be feeling like they've got a chance to score the goal. Both Riley and Ben have got clean strikes of the ball. Right on the cue.
And indeed they have scored.
Deflection off the back of Jack Gowder's chair, cannons off the post and in. But Riley and Ben, you can certainly see the chair technique and control there with their strikes. They've got great power and given space, can certainly strike a good ball and create a chance out of very little. Game on. 5 minutes to play, 3-1.
So a couple of good games to end the weekend with. 3-1 here. Forest will look to see if they can get a second quickly, and then they've got a game on their hands. On the other court, Nottingham versus Leeds. We have a 1-1 draw at the moment. But the match official's currently in deep discussion over on that pitch to see what's going on. So
it's a great ball across from Ben Rogers. That's 2. Game on. It's amazing what a goal can do.
was that tapped in by Riley Preecey right at the end, or did it?
Yeah, I think he might have just got there before it crossed the line. It's a great combination play, great triangle. I think the coaches from the Baggies maybe looking to make some changes, maybe keep it.
Get the general back in the middle of the battlefield.
Yeah, certainly. What? No offence to anybody. I think it's been great performances, great passing, but for that defensive stability, perhaps Noah and Amy Sherman used to defending the goal together. Chance here again for Forest as they break through. Yep, here comes the change, as I expect him.
Yeah, with just under 4 minutes still on the clock. That substitution's happening now. Now, I think Jack Gowder will feel
I
a little bit hard done by there.
Yeah, I think he's very unlucky with the first goal, deflected off the back of his chair and off the post and in, and then they just got caught out. I think it's no reflection on Jack's performance. I think that, as I mentioned, Noah and Amy perhaps have built up that relationship defending the box. So the coach is opting for tried and trusted method, making sure that they don't let this one slip. But credit to Forest, they've really
come alive.
Yeah, they have. It was a great first goal, and that brought a little bit of belief, I think, as they push now to try and get an equaliser.
But like I say, I don't think it's very hard done by on Jack Gowder. That's he'd come on and perform well, and a bit unlucky, I think. I just wonder whether the emotions were part of the reason.
Yeah, it's quick, especially with 2 goals in quick succession like that. I think that it's easy for heads to drop. And perhaps Dave and Matt felt that take him out of the action a little bit, give him that breathing space, fresh player on to try and shut up shop for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Let's see if this game management that we've talked about works well with the general there. He certainly seems to be happy just to let the ball stay between chairs and let the clock run down.
Chance for the Baggies to break. Clearance up the court there from Lewis. Just going to run wide of the post. Well marshalled by Toby Maurice. Substitution. Jack Gowder, who's just recently left the pitch, is back on. Sam Swingler departs.
I think that's good.
Yeah,
good
I think so.
People management, good player management by.
I think also Dave's recognising that he needs sort of those 2 players in the central area to keep the middle of the pitch strong. Jack Gowder marks the edge of the box in the defensive third particularly well, and also rotates round and covers. Hopefully we can get the ball across there. Good chance from Lewis Marshall. So the Baggies push towards the end for one last goal. It's a great reverse spin, and
it's gone in.
Deflected in off Ben Rogers' front bumper. It was great intent from the Baggies. They moved the ball around particularly well there. Lewis Marshall struck a powerful reverse spin. Unfortunate for Ben Rogers, he's tried to tried to pick up that space to stop the ball going from across the back post, and it's just deflected off his front bumper and in. There's not a lot he could have done about that.
Very little, and sadly for him, that goes down as an own goal.
Very unfortunate there.
Had confirmation from centre referee Kaz Bean that that's what it would be. But that extra bit of control of having Jack Gowder and the general, no, leave it, Stevenson Lee in there, meant that passing and control down in this this third, reminiscent of the first 10 minutes of this game, where Baggies were in complete control of territory and the ball, and went in at half-time at 2-0, which, although was fair, you wouldn't have said 3 would have been unfair. They've got 4 goals now to Forest 2. They little scare, but have nullified that Forest threat. There's an opportunity here at the back post for Jack Gowder if he can get the ball to him.
Yeah, they're certainly dangerous from those corner kick routines. I think they'll just be looking to manage this out now. Deflection takes that one out for a sideline ball. Just been given as a corner.
Nice game management there by Jack Gowder. Recognised the time.
Touch, didn't he? Yeah.
Now Stevenson at the back post again. Goes to find him. Needed to try his previous trick of going back again. But a solid win for the Baggies. They'll be disappointed with the 2 goals.
Yeah, at one point we were talking on comms, weren't we, saying about we wanted to keep that clean sheet, but credit to Forest, they really gave that a go, and they scored a great first goal and then put them under a lot of pressure to score another one quickly. Made it, set the game up for a nervy finish for the Baggies, but they responded well, got that 4th goal, and I'll be pleased to take that 3 points, but a lot of positives there for Forest. They'll be taking those into their next weekend for sure.
Well, that concludes all the action on Pitch B for this weekend's Slater and Gordon Championship. It's been an absolute delight to spend the last 3 games with you, Chris.
You too.
Thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we can get to this again another time.
Yes, I look forward to it. Safe travels home, Alex, and thank you for listening, everybody.
And to you, Chris. Good night.